Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another podcast. I'm your host, Jason McCormick. You're listening to This Can Make Us Famous podcast, and with me is my trusty sidekick, Charlie Bartha.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Charlie? Welcome back, man.
Not much.
All right, we got a lot to cover today, so we better get started. So what have you been up to, man? How's your day been?
Went to church today.
Went to church?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to do. I haven't been to church in a little while, so I'm pretty much a heathen. So have you guys found a good church yet, or are you still on the hunt?
Well, we're back to where we originally started from when I came down.
Isn't that funny? So you're back to where you started.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we got to find a good one for our family. I think we might come next weekend to check out yours, the one you guys have been going to. But yeah, other than that, it's been a really boring day. Yesterday, I spent about 3 hours mowing the yard.
Really? I didn't see it.
You didn't notice it?
No.
Yeah, right.
I looked out the window this morning. It wasn't mowed.
Yeah, right. Man, it was hot.
Oh, your
too.
lawn, not mine.
Oh, yours. That's funny. There's been a heat advisory here in the Midwest in Missouri, and yeah, it's not been fun. My favorite season is definitely like spring and fall. I really like fall a lot. The trees turn beautiful colors, and
It just means more work.
Yeah, a lot of leaf raking, but that's probably one of my least favorite things. I'd rather mow than rake leaves. So, true story though, back about 7 years ago, I believe, I was working on an invention. It was probably 8 years ago. I was working on an invention.
2012.
I got so sick and tired of raking leaves. I was thinking, man, there has to be a better way to do this where it's easier. And so I was coming up with all these different concepts. I even went to an investors meeting. I mean, I was really wrapped up in this thing. I wanted to solve the big problem of all problems in the world. How can I make raking leaves much easier? And you know what I came up with?
Some type of thing that would modify the wind the way it blows so all the leaves would blow in the neighbor's yard.
A flamethrower. Just burn those suckers. No. No, that's not at all what I came up with. I was thinking, what if you had like a flat like thing that you raked, like tarp kind of like thing that you rake the leaves onto, and then it just like automatically retracts or something. It's got like I was thinking if you put like hooks and it had like the elastic like rope or string around it.
If you're listening to this, you're missing the best part. With all his hands moving.
All my hand movement. So it's an elastic thing, and the thing, you pull the thing, and then the thing closes over the thing. And that's the thing.
And that's why it's still a thing and not a thing.
Yeah, but the other thing is, oh man, so, oh gosh. Oh, throw it up. That was a nice little snippet from our podcast where I had to eat the onion for getting 50 subscribers. But anyways, the onion. Or not the onion. I'm thinking about onions now. Oh my god. The leaf invention.
For lunch.
Yeah, that's disturbing. By the way, that onion is still wrapped up in my refrigerator. I should freeze it as like a memory of like. Actually, I think I might do that. So like when we get 100,000 subscribers, I'll hold up that onion. Like.
I thought you were going to bring it back out when you got 100.
Oh heck no. No. But I'm going to do an epic challenge nonetheless. So anyways, I got to get back to this leaf thing because it's important. Charlie's trying to get me away from this amazing, groundbreaking invention that I could have had.
That's the thing.
So, yeah, the thing, it comes off the thing, and it wraps around the leaves, and then you just toss it. And it's a biodegradable tarp-like thing, thing. thingy. But that's all I got to say.
There's a
about
lot of
that.
movies about things that were pretty creepy.
Yeah, The Thing you're talking about? What thing are you referring to? So anyways, yep, that was my one shot at a life-changing invention. And it's kind of crazy to me. Like, you see these people come on Shark Tank. You ever watch that show?
Yeah.
And they come up with these, like, mind-blowing. So, for example, this guy comes on there. One of their most successful products they ever had come through Shark Tank ever
And they rejected it, didn't they?
was the sponge.
Oh.
The smiley sponge or whatever you call it. This guy came up with, okay, it's just a sponge, a yellow sponge, and it's got cut out of a smiley face. Extremely inexpensive to make, and it makes a whole lot of money. And I forgot what that woman's name is, the blonde, not Barbara, but the younger one. Anyway, she bought into it, and I believe it's it's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, she's the one that works with the Shopping Channel, whatever one that one.
Yeah, QVC. I believe it. Yeah.
No, for sure. I thought you were going to talk about the ding dong door or something.
Oh, the Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another doozy for them. But this one, the smiley,
They rejected that one.
yeah, they did. They rejected it, and it ended up being, an actual, groundbreaking invention. Well, they thought that market was saturated with the home security systems, but the doorbell thing caught on, and now Google's doing it, which is what we have, the Google Nest doorbell. I like it a whole bunch. So, but yeah, can you believe that? I mean, their most successful thing was a smiley face sponge.
They've had some really good ones. The one I thought was the coolest of all cools, and it's basically taken a concept like you just said. Somebody took a hairbrush, chopped off the end of the hairbrush, and put a cute little fuzzy little creature over top of it, and sold it as like a kid's brush. So now you're brushing your kid's hair with like a ladybug or
Oh, that's cute.
dog or
Well, that's all it takes, man. The greatest inventions are the simple ones that cost very little money and make you a whole lot of profit, And I can't remember what those sponges were selling for, but I think they were a lot of money. So, because they're popular. But yeah, that's good for that guy. He's a multi-millionaire now. I think about that stuff all the time. I mean, you think about who invented the broom and who invented the mop and who invented a dustpan or a dolly, because I own a moving company, and I was thinking how clever that invention was. It saved a lot of people's backs. Who invented the cardboard box, and just simple stuff, man, that made this world a lot easier to live in. Who invented the wheel, and why we haven't reinvented the wheel.
You've never seen a commercial where the caveman's chipping away at the stone?
I'm joking. No, actually I have. It's the Geico commercial. Oh, I remember that. But maybe we will reinvent the wheel. Well, actually, I've seen, I don't know if they were just prototypes, but I've seen airless wheels, like for military vehicles.
Well, they use sort of kind of that concept in NASCAR.
Oh, really? In their
Yeah.
tires?
In their tires. Their airless wheels are out there now. They're in heavy equipment like forklifts, for example, have airless wheels.
That's true.
They're just
But have you seen the
solid
ones,
rubber.
though, like the military vehicles have, and they look like honeycombs, and
Yeah.
like they can run over anything and not.
Yeah, well, NASCAR uses one, so if you get a flat tire, there's enough air, like another little small tire inside the tire that stays to make it so you get back to the pit road.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot to remind you to make more eye contact with the camera because it's getting really hard to make thumbnails with you. I keep trying, like when I'm trying to make these thumbnails, and then
How's this?
I'm like, oh, there's oh, It's too quick. It's like a quick glance. Like,
There, you got a good one. How about this one?
that's a good one. I guess it's supposed to be, a podcast is supposed to be just audio, and we're giving you a little special treat by adding the video, which is a little complicated when you're staying up till 3:30 in the morning editing this stuff, only to get negative comments. But comes with the territory. So yeah, man, cool, amazing inventions that I wish I would have invented. Yeah, maybe one of these days. I think of all kinds of apps, like what could change the world, and I got some right now that
You want to hear
possibly
mine?
could be bigger than Uber.
You want to hear mine?
What's yours?
My invention. It's totally gone away now because they've gone to ink daubers. But
What the heck's an ink dauber?
Oh my gosh! You've never been to bingo hall? Jason, you ever played bingo?
I've played
entire
bingo.
life?
Yeah.
Ink dauber. Doot.
Oh, okay. You're talking about ink stamp.
It's an ink dauber.
It's called ink dauber.
Yeah.
Ink dauber.
Well, that's what I call it
Boom,
anyway.
boom, boom. It's probably called an ink stamp. Go ahead.
Back in the day, they had these chips, and then they ended up and went to these chips, and they put it like a little metal. They're plastic chips. They put a little metal ring around the plastic chip.
Okay.
Then they made these magnet things where you could just take your and go, whoosh, and it would sweep all the chips off.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, my invention was to bypass all that, and just have a dauber
That picks them all
that
up.
picks them up, and then you push a button, and when it's time to B4, boop.
Huh. That's a good idea.
But they've done away with those now and went to the daubers, ink daubers.
Huh. That's a good idea. Man, I'll tell you what, those elderly people, they get serious about their bingo.
Oh, yeah. And
They'll fight
don't
over
you yell bingo with the number that's on the board but not yet been called.
Really? Is that the rule?
Gosh, they get a little excited about
I'd like
that.
to see some of these fights that happen in bingo halls. Like, bingo!
Don't call bingo too early because some of them people, when they hear bingo, they just clear their boards and then they're like,
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you find out, oh, I'm sorry. I saw that wrong.
yeah, that's when they get upset. That's when the fights start. That's when they,
Sorry, it's my glaucoma.
that's when they bring the canes out and start hitting you.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? I'll tell you what, though, some of those senior citizens, man, they can throw down. I mean, these guys were in war, like literally in war. Like, not like these little sissy, we don't even have wars, really. It's just drone fights and a little bit. But, I mean, they were in like World War II, Vietnam. I mean, not that none of these other things we had weren't serious. And, of course, people in the military died from it. So those are serious. But I'm talking about like great, big, huge wars. Anyways, so yeah, it's been a while since I've got to do anything fun, man. Really boring. I've been putting a lot of time though into doing this podcast and getting it off the ground, and I've been wanting to take my family on vacation, and I've been wanting to go to the movies, but unfortunately, I can't go to the movies anymore.
Yes, you can.
You can go. Are they open?
Yeah, B&B, you can rent the theater for $200.
Well, yeah, you got to rent the whole dang theater. I want to be able to just go, stand in
Well,
line.
you get 20 people, it's $10 a ticket. You get more, it's cheaper yet.
I mean, why are they doing that? What's the difference?
Because that's the way they can open up and stay within the boundaries of the law or so-called law nowadays.
Interesting.
But there's also drive-ins.
Drive-ins are probably going to make a comeback after all this.
Their B&B owns one up between Liberty and Lee Summit. Kind of Independence area, I guess.
In Missouri, yep. I've never been to a drive-in, but we should do that totally. Because I've been craving to go into a movie, and it's been a huge bummer that is me and my family. I mean, we used to go to the movies and buy the ridiculously overpriced popcorn. It's like you have to get a loan out just to get candy.
You know, they're doing, B&B also does that. They do curbside on Friday nights now. You
Really?
can go pull up and get some fresh popcorn. And there's really nothing like the movie theater popcorn if it's fresh.
Yeah, well, I like the
Nothing.
reason why I believe B&B is good because one, their theaters look amazing, and two, it just seems like whoever's running things at B&B, they're moving the right direction, like they're getting with the times, and but they have like stuff with their popcorn, don't they? Isn't that the one that has the
Captain Colonel's
powder? Yeah. See, that's awesome. I like that. Even though, like last time I did that, I like jalapeno, so I get the cheesy jalapeno. And that stuff, I'll tell you what, man, they could use that in the riots, like to calm people down instead of the pepper spray. You take that cheesy jalapeno popcorn dust and you throw that in the air, man, it'll clear the whole crowd. Have you choked on that stuff? I mean, you put it in there and you're dying while you're pouring it in. You're like, I do that. Oh, I'm already feeling it, man. But I did that, and then I bring it in, and my wife, she puts her hand in there and she starts eating it, and then you just hear her choking to death on the popcorn.
You didn't shake the bag apparently on the way there, did you?
Oh no. Well, it's better when you put butter on it, so you kind of,
But they don't have
wet it
real.
down.
They don't have real butter. They've got
the fake margarine.
whatever it is.
Yeah. But yeah, B&B
My
is
mouth's
getting
watering.
Yeah, I want some popcorn, but I'm on a low calorie diet. So yeah, it seems like B&B is gonna make it out of this thing alive. However, AMC, which is AMC Theaters, is very popular. They were like the big dogs for a very long time, and they're headquartered around here, right? It's in
Leawood, Kansas.
Which is like the wealthiest part of Kansas. It's like the border of
Johnson
Missouri.
County.
Yeah, it's right by us actually, and they're going downhill. Matter of fact, they filed for bankruptcy, and this could be the end of AMC Theaters as we know it. However, what I hear is now this is not. We don't know if this is going to happen or not, but our AMC Theater may be purchased by Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, who knows if it happens? Honestly, it would be great if Amazon could acquire AMC Theaters because it'd be sad to watch them go away. Because it has an A in the name, AMC. Maybe they can spin it to Amazon movie, whatever channel, or what does AMC even stand for?
Well, I'll do my job.
What does AMC stand for? I could ask Google.
Nah.
Charlie will
take
be
the fun
Google.
out of it.
So I think that'd be a great move, but I was looking it up today and I don't see any updates since May on whether they're going to do it or not. So I hope Jeff Bezos and Amazon can get a hold of AMC and not let them.
American Multi-Cinema.
Okay. That's an interesting name. Change it to Amazon Multi-Cinema. They'll probably change the whole thing.
Just put a big smiley face over top of the theater.
And that's it.
That's it.
Amazon will be able to turn it around and make that place amazing.
Well, they bought Whole Foods out of bankruptcy, so.
Yeah, and that's. Even though I don't shop at Whole Foods, but yeah, I think they're gonna do it, but who knows? Could be surprised. They're also considering buying JCPenney too, so I think it's JCPenney. They've talked about it. But yeah, I want to go see a daggum movie, Charlie. And one of the movies I'm excited for, by far, I'm a huge Batman fan. Do you like Batman? Are you a DC? Let me ask you, DC or Marvel? If you had to choose, you could care less about.
I could care less.
Okay, well, forget about Charlie's opinion because he doesn't like him. But I really, really, really like Batman because Batman.
You just like Robin.
Robin's pretty cool, but Batman's the best. Reason why I like Batman, and this
I want
is
to hear a story.
All right, is this gonna be about this?
No, nothing to do with this.
Can you hold on to it? Because
I
then
don't
we're
wanna
gonna
lose it.
Charlie's like the
It's
master
about
of
Robin.
rabbit
It's
trails.
about Robin.
All right, tell us real quick, and then we're gonna go right back to this.
Okay.
You're like the master of rabbit trails.
We
Go
had
ahead.
we had a couple people get off at work, so they closed down the office for the weekend and clean up and everything. And there was a couple people that got sick. They stayed home. Well, one day they kept us at the office and wouldn't let us go out in the stores. And this one day the boss comes up and he says, "You wouldn't believe this. This thing just keeps pecking at the window." And it's a robin. And so this robin just keeps pecking, and it's at his brother's office, but they share the window pane. It's in both their offices, but the robin was pecking on the part that's inside his brother's office. And just kept going to town. So me and my guy that I shared an office with went over there and we're checking it out, laughing and everything. Well, the next day we come in, and it happens to be the day that Robin, one of the office people, comes back to work.
Oh, really?
And my boss goes, "That damn Robin's back."
That's funny, dude. That kind of ties in with it.
I says, "That's no way to talk about your employees."
That's funny. That's funny right there. Oh, thumbnail. That was fun. So back to Batman.
Okay.
But that was good. That was good. That kind of tied in with it a little bit. So I don't even know how to get back to this.
What part?
We were talking about Batman, I believe. No, so the new Batman. Oh no! I don't want to talk about the new Batman yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. However, we are going to talk about that. I wanted to talk about why I like Batman.
Because he wears black.
Because he wears black. He's also the most realistic. Okay, that's a debatable topic. People are either. Yeah, it's. I mean, think about it. Okay, so Batman.
I got this belt. Watch this.
That's realistic. So he doesn't have superpowers. He's trained in the martial arts as a ninja, and the Shadow, whatever you call him. I'm a huge Batman fan, and I can't even think of it. Shadow, the League of Shadows, and he was trained in the art of martial arts, and he's bad to the bone. But he happens to also be a billionaire, so he's able to purchase all this state-of-the-art technology with his skills of fighting and put them together, and he is a vigilante. He fights evil.
Yeah, but what
in
better of a
Gotham.
superhero can you get that goes into a
Don't
phone
say
booth?
Superman.
Goes into a phone booth.
Don't say Superman.
Comes out.
Come on.
Whoosh, here I am.
I mean, okay, Superman is bad to the bone, but he's an alien. He's like an alien god. I mean, it's not realistic. What do you think, folks?
Oh my
Comment
gosh.
below. Tell us what you think. Are you DC fan, Marvel fan? Why you are, why you're not a fan of either one of them? And let me know who's your favorite character on Marvel and DC and why. Who do you think's the most realistic? I have to say Batman by far. And Iron Man.
Aquaman.
Oh yeah. That's funny right there. That's Aquaman, seriously. He is the most unrealistic. You got a fish man god and he lives in the ocean. No, Batman's bad to the bone, and that's why I like him so much, and I'm super excited about the new movie. Have you heard about it? It's coming out. They've been trying to get it production going, and because of COVID-19 outbreak, that canceled their plans. So that must have been really difficult on them and their budget. But it's starring Robert Pattinson, which is the Twilight guy. He plays...
Twilight guy.
Yeah. He played Edward in Twilight, which there was like... I remember when Twilight came out, like one of my ex-girlfriends actually was a huge fan. She was Team Jacob, and there was other girls that were Team Edward. And so...
Which one were you on?
I was Team...
I can see you being sparkly.
Team Edward. No, definitely not. He was really pale anyway. That's so awkward. But okay, so that was a big thing, and now Robert Patterson is
Wait,
getting his big break again in Batman. So he's going to be a DC character, and this could launch him further into his career of acting. So, which brings me to this. I wanted to ask you, out of all the years that they've done Batman, who do you think played Batman the best? Who was the best Batman? And I want all of you guys that are listening and watching on YouTube, let me know, who do you think played the best Batman? Now, we can't obviously include Robert Patterson because his movie doesn't come out until 2021, possibly later because of all this stuff. So, who do you think? I mean, I know you've watched other Batmans.
yeah, but I can't. I'm not good
There's
with names.
George Clooney.
Eh,
There's
he
oh my
was
gosh.
he was okay.
I cannot believe Val Kilmer.
No,
You don't think he did a good job? Really? Why? You thought his performance was pretty weak?
yeah,
I think Val Kilmer had a really good face for it. Like when you wear the mask, you think of Batman having a chiseled, jawline, which
you know,
Robert Patterson definitely has.
who's the original guy? I think that's when he did the best.
The very first Batman,
Yeah.
that was oh man, I'm blanking on his name. Hey Google, who was the first Batman?
Here is some information from the web that might possibly help.
I'm listening to
Wilson
Google.
Wilson. On the
Osen
website denofgeek.com, they say Wilson was the first and
Wilson.
youngest actor ever to play the adult Batman, and also the least successful.
The least successful.
The
That's
unknown thespian donned the
Well,
cape
they've
and
got
cowl.
billions and billions
Hey
of
Google,
dollars,
stop. That's funny.
billions of dollars since then put into the movie. But I think
Right.
for what they had at the time,
The
I think
least successful Batman. That's and that's your favorite.
Yeah.
You're gonna go with that.
I'm gonna go.
Well, George Clooney did a great job.
Yeah, he was okay.
But I don't know.
The Lego version was the best one.
Like, I'm Batman. What's his name? Christopher. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was Superman. Christopher Reeves was Superman.
No. Gosh, man, I'm telling you what, it's easy to blank on this stuff. Christian Bale. God, I can't believe I forgot that. I thought he did a good job. So, Christian Bale, he did an awesome job. He might be the best. Ben Affleck did an awesome job too. I'm just kind of torn. I don't know. I thought they were all unique in their own way. Now, what I didn't like,
So if it was such a successful character, why did they have so many people have to play him?
that's something I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it's a contract thing. Maybe they just had a hard time securing people. Because when they get in to play Batman, it becomes, successful or whatever, and they want to negotiate their contract and they want more. I don't know. Or more than likely it's because they don't want to be stuck in that role, like, and become Batman. And when you're an actor, you want to be diverse. You want to be able to, play different roles, and you don't want to be stuck as that person. Like, hey, you're Batman.
How many Batman movies have there been? And
How many different Batmans?
yeah,
And Jokers. How
and
many different
so
Jokers?
let's see here. At least about 10 Batmans,
Mm-hmm. There's been a lot.
and probably 7 guys have played them Batmans.
Really? Yeah.
And so you think if you made millions, a couple $1 million playing a character on a movie,
Mm-hmm.
I think I could live off that for a bit.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you do a couple movies, make it big, and then take all that money, dude, and just live the rest of your life and have fun. I mean, come on. However, it is a job, and it's like a pride thing. Like, you achieve, like, you're an artist, and you don't want to stop creating art. Like, I was talking to the guy that took care of this horrible mess on top of my head. I had like really bad quarantine, shaggy, horrible hair. You can see it in previous podcasts. That's why I wore a hat. I finally got rid of it, and I was talking to my hairstylist, and he's a master hairstylist, and he's been in the game for a long, long time, getting ready for retirement. And he told me, he said, "Look, man, I will never be able to retire because I'm a hairstylist. Like it's art for him. You can't expect him to quit doing what he's done all of his life. But
Well,
same thing for these actors.
When you take somebody's hair and you send them away, and 45 minutes later, and you come back with $50 in your pocket,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good gig, I'd have to say.
Yeah, chop someone's hair off, and especially now, man, hairstylists are making a premium.
What happens when he can't see that great, and you're still going to him, and he thinks he's cutting one hair, and it's like half your head of hair?
Yeah, when they start losing it, and they shave
Are
your
you going to
bald.
talk about him about then?
Yeah. He starts getting arthritis, and he can't even. It's like
Yeah, when the scissors start going like this and they go up towards your head, it's time to think.
How do you like it? Looks great. Love it, man. Thank you. I hate that. Like when you get your hair cut and you're a really nice person and you don't want to be brutally honest with the people and say it sucks. I mean, there's some people that are like that. They're honest, but I've gotten so many bad haircuts and I look at it in the mirror and I'm like,
So that's your problem.
I don't like it at all. But
It's not up to you to like,
just like when I'm,
unless you're standing in front of the mirror going,
yeah. Yeah, just like when I'm being waited on and the food is pretty horrible and sorry, you can hear my son in the background. Hold on one second here. I got to tell him. So, that's kids for you. You got to love it. You got to love it. They interrupt you whenever they feel like interrupting you. So, yep, that's my boy. You guys saw him on episode 10. So adorable. Love that little kid.
yep, he's the one
I'll
that
have to
come
get
on and
him
just
on.
wanted to push all the buttons.
He wanted to push all the buttons.
Look,
He's
there's
just
a
like,
red,
look,
a
beautiful,
yellow, a blue, a green. That's like Jason.
beautiful, beautiful.
If there was no colors on that board there, he'd ignore it totally. But
Yeah, I'd just be over here, forget about the podcast. You just see me over here like green, blue, purple. It's fun, man. So yeah, Batman, love it. Can't wait to watch Batman. And the thing I like about him is that, could you imagine like right now with all the chaos, all the riots, and then Batman shows up, man? People would be so mesmerized. Like imagine like they're getting ready to break the windows out and they got the Molotov cocktail and then out of the sky, out of the blackness comes this Batman figure and he just falls down on the ground and then you just lock eyes with him. And you're just like, that's Batman.
dreamer, dream.
Copyright. Copyright.
That is on episode 28 of Batman, by the way,
Oh, really?
where he drops in and riots.
Well, that'd be sick, man. I would love that, man. Batman. Maybe somebody should do that.
No,
If you're listening to this, you should dress up like Batman if you have the Batman. Maybe I should do it. And then I get on the news, and that's my moment of fame. I'm this masked superhero that changes the course of all these riots.
I'll shine the light for you.
Yeah, you could be, Commissioner Gordon after he, yeah. So the riots, that's a good thing to talk about. It seems like everybody's talking about that. I was saying this, but I didn't say it on the podcast, I don't think, but I feel what's going to happen with all of this is, I mentioned it to you that there's going to be a mass exodus of cops. I mean, that's my prediction. And you're already seeing that now, like in Buffalo, New York, when those officers pushed that elderly man down and he happened to fall. He tripped. They pushed him clearly. He tripped, fell, busted his head open. And what I found mostly disturbing about that is like the dudes just kind of, they just walked around him. I mean, you could see the blood coming out of the dude's head. And boy, they didn't rush to his aid. So I'm not saying they didn't do anything at all, but you would imagine when you see that they were gonna rush to the guy and like, oh man, are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? Well, I wouldn't say are you okay because he was bleeding out of his head, but I'd try to help him. So, and they had what was it, 51 or 57 something, 50 something cops walked off the job and they just quit. And I presume that, or I would think that that's going to be a normal thing. There's going to be a lot of officers. I mean, would you quit if you were a cop right now?
I would not.
You wouldn't?
I sworn to duty. It's just like in the military.
Yeah.
And officers are sworn to duty, military is sworn to duty, and if those officers truly walked off, then they're AWOL.
Yeah.
It's not like your job. You don't take an oath when you take a job at McDonald's or a job at anywhere. When you take a police officer job, military job,
Mm-hmm.
you take an oath basically.
Right. I could see it that way. But I also could see their point of view getting tired of all this stuff, the hatred. I mean, these people are so hated, but they save people's lives. They're good people. I mean, they're getting lumped in with the few bad cops that are out there.
No excuse for a cop walking off the job.
Yeah.
Especially in times like this. That just showing the left that, hey, we're successful.
Yeah, we're doing our job. We're getting rid of, we want these cops out of here. We don't want them here anymore. We want to cut their funding. And so, but yeah, I think there's going to be more of it though, unfortunately. I think people are getting tired of it and they're tired of the disrespect and the hatred towards them. And the fact that if they go out on the job, not only do they have to worry about getting killed, but also are they going to be the next thing that causes all of this, you know? So that's a tough thing, but I totally see what you're saying. Like if you compare it to military and which they are, you know, sort of that in our country, they're to serve and protect. They're here to, you know, keep the country and their state that they're involved in safe.
Yeah, they know, okay, anybody can get killed anywhere, anytime. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Okay? With that being set aside, they particularly know that when they put their uniform on and leave for work that morning, that they might possibly not come home that night.
Yeah.
But they knew that when they took the job, took the oath, went through the academy, got the training. They knew all that.
Right.
Their families knew all that. So it's no big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I think I don't know. I definitely see where you're coming from. That it's their duty to serve and protect, and that if they do walk off on the job, they're kind of betraying their oath that they swore. But I like to put myself in other people's shoes and think how they think and why they would do what they do. So instead of just, you know, speaking out my emotions, which we all do. So it's tough, man.
that's why the country. I'm going to put a different perspective on this. That's why right now, when you go into a grocery store, you're paying $10 for hamburger in some places. $10 a pound for hamburger. That's absurd. There's no shortage of beef Where the shortage is we've got to play the game of the COVID-19 baloney. We've got to stay 6 feet apart. We've got to wear a mask at work. We basically are, I'll term I want to use, but anyway, but that's the same thing. That's why and people, they've gotten so scared by the media putting out all this stuff on COVID-19 that the healthy ones don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
So it's not a shortage of any product that it is. It's people won't go to work, period, because of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I saw something today that they said that the whole jobs numbers were fudged.
Yeah.
That there was things that weren't considered and things that were considered that shouldn't have been.
Well, so was COVID-19.
So, right.
I just got in a motorcycle accident when it gets loaded into the ambulance.
He died from COVID-19.
I'm just going to let you know that no matter what your condition is, even though you was in a motorcycle accident, when we roll into the hospital, you're being admitted for COVID-19. That's proven.
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook. One of our podcasts we did a few times ago. They were talking about COVID-19 and like where it went because of all this riot stuff, and they were saying that their hospital, because they're a part of the medical field, is still getting people testing positive for COVID-19. And a matter of fact, I have a friend of mine. He was on this show. We did a phone call with him. And his mom just tested positive for COVID-19, and she's in the emergency room right now getting fluids. So, which I believe along the lines of what Charlie's saying, I think things were just very, very extremely over-exaggerated, but people do get COVID-19.
Or
it still exists.
Or are they getting COVID-19?
Or are they getting something else? I don't know, but there's a lot of unknown, stuff.
I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't give you medical advice, and I'm not on the WHO board or the Centers for Disease Control.
CDC, yeah.
But it's a hoax. It's not okay. Let me rephrase that. It's not a hoax, but it is blown way out of proportion.
That's my opinion on it. My opinion, okay? And we're all entitled to that. Everybody's sharing their opinions every day, so this one's mine. I feel like this stuff, it's a political thing, and I feel like a specific party, which is very obvious, they're using these things for their benefit. I mean, when this person is, there's a high chance that Trump is going to get elected. I mean, a very, very high chance he's going to get reelected. And so the other party, they're in desperate mode, panic mode. Impeachment didn't work. All these scams, all these different things they tried to get him on, none of them worked. It's just boom, 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 boom. It never stops. There's just a new thing that keeps coming. And then now they didn't, I don't think they necessarily caused COVID-19, but I think that they took something and, like Charlie said, they blew it up into something and kind of rode that wave. And then when all the truth started coming out about it, that it's not as serious. Now, peoples have died and it does exist, but it's not as serious as what they made it out to be, to shut the whole global economy down the way they did and still shut things down, which is suffering businesses, causing the economy to tank. What was Trump known for? Good job numbers.
Yeah.
The best job numbers. And we were going up and the economy was going up, the stocks were going up. And so blowing this out of proportion, using the power of the media Then it created this frenzy and people panicked and freaked out, and it shut the economy down, and it made the job numbers almost to the point of the Great Depression. And I think the Great Depression was 20% job, like,
Yeah, I think we were at 13.
and but it was we're at 16, but the 20% though was for years, so it was years of 20%, which
Yeah.
is horrible. So and we're only months in though, so I think there's an agenda behind it. I think it's very obvious. If you step back from your beliefs of your party, it's like my party can never do anything wrong. Look at the full picture, guys. Look at what's going on. It's very, very obvious what's going on. You got to look at the evidence. Look at the things that have happened and took place. Step out of your bubble, and it's like, I don't know, man. People are just gonna believe what they believe, but there's just a clear battle for this country.
Yep.
It's a battle, like what direction, and like I was getting at earlier, the Democrats, I'll say it, the Democrats have everything to lose. If Trump wins another 4 years, this could affect them for years and years to come, because he's going to elect more Supreme Court justices, more likely, and that's going to get it to swing way over to the conservative side. And Supreme Court justices are lifelong.
Here is my spin on my opinion on the political things. What will happen if Trump wins this election? If Trump wins this election, which he is going to win this election, he is going to clean house. There is going to be the Democratic Party as you know it is not going to be the Democratic Party as you know it anymore.
Well, it's people already jumping ship, man.
It will become like it was originally.
Oh yeah,
the Democratic Party was for the people. They ain't for the people. They're for themselves.
Yeah, they have secret motives. The Democratic Party used to be the slave party. They were the slave party until LBJ, is that LBJ?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson. He flipped the party to, which is crazy, like the party that wanted to keep them as slaves. It's a fact. There's facts behind it. You can look in the history books. The actual party that wanted to keep them as slaves is now the party that most of them, like, was it 60%, I believe, African Americans vote for this party and have been voting for this party
all
along.
You
They are the party of of slavery.
Yeah.
How did they do that? How do you get in their heads?
Yeah. It's
How
absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you want to see things change, switch your party, switch your thinking, because living on welfare is not the way you were designed to live, or I was designed to live, or Jason was designed to live, or anybody was designed to live. It was help to get you over the bump, not designed for you to live on.
Well, and that's anyone that lives,
and
no matter what color you are, that's anyone that lives in the poverty lifestyle, where you just take the crumbs that are fed to you, and you're always going to be this way because your life was terrible.
Yeah.
Folks, I haven't shared my story, and I probably won't go much into it, but I went through a horrible life. I grew up in the inner city. I went through just about anything that could happen to a human being. I've witnessed it. I've seen it with my eyes. Starvation, homelessness, extreme poverty, extreme neglect. Didn't have my parents. My mom and dad were, into drugs and alcohol. And, I got family members that listen to this, so I'm trying to be sensitive and not hurt their feelings because, but I understand, like, everybody's got their weaknesses and things they do in their life and how they handle pain. And my parents unfortunately they were just addicted and they abandoned us and they would just go off and leave. My dad and mom were never married, and I remember my parents would just go off and leave and they'd be gone for days. And us little children in the inner city of St. Louis are completely alone in these abandoned brick buildings, basically. I mean, I remember we didn't even have a front door. It was horrible. And it was just the memories I have. I can go on for hours about it, but I won't. So I'm just saying what I'm getting to is that I came out of it and I chose not to. And I've said this to other people, and they've, believe it or not, they've gotten angry with me. You just because you did it doesn't mean everybody's going to do it. What do you mean? Look at all these other amazing, successful movie stars, and if you make excuses in your life, and that's what this other party wants to do. They want you to believe that you can never make it out because you grew up in poverty and because you grew up in the city and the streets and you saw this happen and you saw that happen, that you can't, you're not capable of being successful because you didn't have that platform. Well, I'm going to tell you something, folks. Yeah, it's a lot easier when you have wealthy parents that are pumping money into you, but anything is possible if you put your hands to it. We're not a third world country. Like third world countries, yeah, it's going to be much more difficult for them because they don't have the education. They don't have the opportunities. They live in extreme poverty. They don't have food banks like we have to help. And so I feel more bad about those people. But in here, there's so many opportunities in America. And, people argue until they're blue in the face, telling you that there's no way, it's not right. You can't, not everybody can be successful. Anybody can do anything if they put enough hard work into it. You can do absolutely anything. You can't convince me that you couldn't. I can tell you story after story of people that grew up in the streets with nothing. I mean, you look at Jay-Z, you look at Tyler Perry, you look at all these people that the statistics showed that they should have not amounted to anything. And now they're the most successful people in the world.
Who's that African American that hosted, but he was like the behind the scene, I guess you call him host, behind the scene curtain for America's Got Talent.
Oh, you're talking about Nick Cannon?
He was from Flint, Michigan.
Oh, really? Yeah, he drank that water and he was fine.
If that's if his name is.
Yeah, Nick Cannon. That's who he was. America's Got Talent. I believe that was Nick Cannon. So yeah, I didn't mean to
But that's where
get
he
into
came,
preaching
he came
about
out of,
that,
and
but
look at where he's at.
it kind of just came out of me. I've had so many conversations like that, man. I've had arguments with people, and I'm allowed to speak into it because I'm actually speaking from a place of experience. And so...
No, Terry Crews.
Oh, you're talking about Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was on America's Got Talent. Yeah, Terry Crews. Amazing story. I mean, and there's white guys that have the same stories, It's just... You can be anything or achieve anything if you work hard enough at it. And it may take you much longer than the average person that has the platform and the resources that are greater than yours, but you can do it. Ben Carson, he's actually the guy that I wanted to win the election at the beginning, Ben Carson, because I love his story, man, of success and how he overcame so many stereotypes and so much. But yeah, anyways, that's all the preaching I'm going to do. And I wanted to say on this podcast that I'm going to make an attempt to start stepping back from political stuff as much as I can, because it is so divisive. It's so controversial. And, people have argued with me about that and told me, well, man, you got to stand true to yourself and what you believe in and not be a coward. And like, well, I agree with that. However, there's so many podcasts and so many different YouTube channels and news channels that just tell bad news all the time, and it's getting exhausting. You don't need me to tell you all the stuff you already see all over the place. You know, it's everywhere. Just turn on the news, get on YouTube. It's everywhere. So, anyways, man, it's starting to get really hot up here.
Yeah, it is.
I got to get the air condition on. But yeah, good things are happening with this podcast. We're making some great changes. I'm actually going to be working on a sweet little intro instead of how I come in normally. And
I
it's
like
going to
the
be sweet.
ukulele.
Charlie is a huge fan of the ukulele. I think I sound ridiculous. Maybe that's a good thing. It's entertainment. But we about have. I want to show you guys, but I'm not going to because I want it to be completely done and ready to go. But we about have Charlie's section done. Still waiting for my microphone. Just I don't know what it is, but I guess it's because of COVID-19 that all these factories that make these products are, they have less employees, and so they're backing up, and so I'm trying to be patient and not be.
Well, they've had to
rude
slow the
about it.
assembly lines, Jason, because you can't push down because they're not standing side by side. So you got to slow the assembly line down.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of things that factor
one
into
where they produce maybe 5 before is only producing 1.
Right. Yeah. So, and I found myself getting irritated a little bit, and then I had to, remind myself, these people are doing the best they can. I mean, their business and their lives were deeply affected by this, and I mean, it's okay that I don't have my microphone right now. It's okay. It'll be all right. Just be patient, and just know that everybody's inconvenienced by this. What's going on? So, but in good news, though, I wanted to end this podcast with something good. Okay, we have to end with something good. I am very proud of where our country's going to be heading, especially with the great people that are doing amazing things. And one of them, I mean, he's technically not an American. Well, he's not from here, but he's from South Africa. Elon Musk is changing this world like no one has ever done. I mean, it's amazing what this guy's achieving. And it's amazing he's able to do all these things at the same time. I mean, he's running SpaceX. He's got Tesla. He's got the Boring Company. He's got, I mean, I know he's got other companies too the tunnel. I think it's called the Boring Tunnel. It's like, what? How can somebody handle all this and stay sane? I'm sure it's getting to him, but he has a company called SpaceX, and SpaceX just recently during all this chaos, they had this successful manned launch. So they had two astronauts ride in one of their aircrafts, or spacecrafts, I should say, and it went up to the International Space Station and docked successfully. So, and the thing about SpaceX is they realized that we were wasting rockets, that they were burning, like, once they did their thing, they would burn up and it'd be millions and millions of dollars gone just like that. So they created a rocket that could, do it, get you up there in outer space, and then it can come back to Earth and land itself, and it can be reused again. So reusable rockets, and which is amazing. And so is Jeff Bezos. He's competing with Elon Musk, and he has the Blue Origin. That's his company, and they're doing the same thing. Well, Elon Musk is the first to successfully have a manned spacecraft, like for their company and what they're doing with the reusable rocket, to have a manned spacecraft dock. So, with the International Space Station, and I think it's pretty amazing, and it's kind of funny to me. I I've kind of been connecting the dots, and I'm wondering what's going on with space to cause all this, because like this big move to do all these things in space. I mean, you got the United States just created the United States Space Force, and it's making me think like what's going on? Why are they racing to do all this stuff that
You want my conspiracy theory?
yeah. We got to end it with something negative. We had a little bit of good. Now let's
All
throw
right.
it.
My conspiracy theory is you go up, no matter how you get there or what you do while you're up there, you take out some of them satellites, you take out the country.
That's true, which is probably why they have the Space Force. They probably realize that there is I'm sure they're a credible threat.
If one of them satellites, some
Yeah.
of them satellites that are up there go down.
You
Now,
take
some
out
of
the
them
country.
would be nice to go down, like CNN and.
Oh, there goes CNN.
But yeah, you take out some of them satellites that are up there. You take out the entire country.
Wow,
Your GPS is gone.
that's true. And that more than likely that's
And
what
do you know what a map is, Jason?
a map. No,
Yeah. Can you read a map?
of course I can read a map. Not very well, but I can read one. MAP.
The younger generation don't know nothing about a map or an atlas or anything like that.
So if they take out the GPS system, people
Yeah.
will be lost.
You'll be like,
I can't get home.
Where do I go? Which way do I go?
How do I get out of the parking lot? Wow. Yeah, I mean that is definitely something we got to look into, and I can see the reasoning behind Space Force and even SpaceX. I totally see why they're doing what they're doing. I'm just wondering if there's other reasons behind it. Like, is there an asteroid heading for Earth that could kill us all and we don't know about it?
Just hope you're saved. You got to worry about it.
I mean, that'd be one epic way to die, though. I mean, if you're going to die, which we all are, going out from an asteroid is pretty amazing.
Just sit there and watch it.
I would just get my family and stand up on the roof and wear a tinfoil hat. They're turning the frogs gay. So that was a Alex Jones reference.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we need to get tinfoil hats, Charlie. That's how you get your neighbors to move. You sit on your roof with a tinfoil hat and lawn chair. The aliens are gonna get us. Huh, I wonder why Bill and Susie moved away. That's weird.
Your Costafa across the street would get you before that happened.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
straight jackets would be called in. Then.
Oh, the neighborhood watch city of Grandview lady that just stalks the people. That's funny. Well, we are over an hour, so I got to go ahead and wrap up this amazing podcast we just did. Oh, yeah. Thumbnail. Spit. Thumbnail. From all of us here at the podcast, me and Charlie, my whole family, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's been awesome. This podcast has been great. We look forward to doing more of these things and continuing to grow and continuing to provide and produce great content for you amazing listeners. You've been listening to This Can Make Us Famous podcast. We're out of here. Tune in for the next one.
See you later, everybody.
It's going to be amazing, fantastic. I don't know what other word to say. Take it easy. Love you guys. Wrong button.